Hello there, More here, and thank you for joining me on my channel today. Today, we're going to dive into a champion guide and spotlight on a Force Affinity rare champion from the High Out factions named Fencer. But first, before we jump into it, I want to give a big thank you and shout out to my subscribers. Thank you so much for your support to this channel. Without you, this channel wouldn't exist. Your support means the absolute world to me, and thank you very much for your support. But if you're here and you are not yet a subscriber of my channel, then I hope by the end of this video, I can have the privilege of calling you a subscriber of this channel. So let's get into it. Fencer. What is she about? Can she help progress your account? Real quick, before we dive into it, actually, it's been brought to my attention. It's been brought up, at least communicated, commented to me, that potentially sometimes when I do these guides of the champions that are either less known or possibly lower tier, whatever that actually means, lower tier, in general, that I am advocating or pushing that the low spend or free to play accounts build these guys up, invest into them and use them. I am not necessarily doing that. That is not my intention. I do these guides so that you can potentially look at these champions with some gameplay, with some investment into them, so that you don't have to invest into them to see what they can do. Potentially so you can consider if you want to use these champions in your account, so that it can potentially help progress your account, because you can check out some gameplay, you can check out the skills, I can help explain it to you and break it down for you so that you can make the determination of whether or not this champion can actually help you progress your account. I'm not pushing say, hey, go pull it, go, go, go. If you get Fencer, go builder, go. No, I'm not saying that. Not one bit. I'm not here to judge a champion. I'm not here to rank the champion. I'm not here to put a tier list together for these champions when I do these guides. These guides are just focused and dedicated on what this champion can do and potentially what this champion can bring to the content of the game and potentially to your account. So you can make the decision if you want to use it or not in your account. So, Fencer. What does she have and what does she bring to the game? Her A1 attacks one enemy, attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 15% chance of placing a 15% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. That can actually be booked up to a 30% chance, and that is the big version of that defense, debuff, which is pretty nice. That's on our A1. It's a 2-hit A1. Each hit has a 30% chance of landing a decreased speed debuff. That's a pretty fairly valuable debuff in the game. Her A2 attacks one enemy, has a 75% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn, steals 20% of the target's turn meter if the stun debuff is not placed. That's pretty nice. So theoretically, if you put this, say, against a boss, she can't place a stun against a boss, can she? No. However, she can steal or reduce the turn meter of some bosses, not all, of some bosses like Dragon, Clan Boss, not going to work. But say Spider, Fire Knight, Ice Golem, this will work. You can't stun the boss, but you could steal the 20% turn meter. So the boss's turn meter goes down by 20%. Her turn meter will go up by 20%. Give her individually a 40% turn meter spread on the boss, just from this one skill because you can't stun him. However, if you do it against one of the mob, when the waves ahead of time, you can book it up to a 100%, right? Yeah, a 100% chance to stun the wave, to stun one of the minions themselves. Again, that's a really valuable skill and mechanic to have because it's a crowd control. Theoretically, also, if you wanted to take her into arena, you could stun somebody, or if you don't stun them, you turn meter spread them. Both of them are very valuable skills to have in the game. Her A3 attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance, 100 when booked, of placing a 30% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. Now that is the lower version of the debuff. I got it. However, it is a AoE to attack and has a 100% chance of landing this debuff. And it's coming from a rare. So that is a pretty nice little skill overall. It's an AoE attack. It deals damage to everybody. And it has a chance to put a debuff, a decreased defense debuff on everybody on the team. A 100% chance as well. She actually has an aura as well. Increases ally attack in all dungeons by 23%. Not too bad. It's a dungeon aura, which is pretty nice. However, it is the attack version. It's the attack aura. I personally don't like it because most of the time, my champions I choose to use for my content progression, my account progression, are defense or HP based champions, and their damage just scales off of that as well. So attack for me is most of the time kind of useless for me. But that's my account. That's the way I use my champions and the champions I decide to use, not necessarily you. Her, however, individually, her damage does scale off of attack. So if you put her in the lead, she will beef up her own individual attack at the very least. Hey there, if you're liking the video so far, hit that subscribe button down below. Thanks. So I've actually decided to put her in some speed gear. Sorry, not speed gear. I focused on crit rate in general. I want a crit rate on my items, crit rate on my gloves, because I want her to be able to land a crit, to be able to do some damage overall. So I don't have very good stats on her. Remember, she's also only level 40. She's only 4-star. So keep that in mind, that when we take her into the Fire Knights in just a little bit here, you see the actual gameplay I'm going to do with her, that she's got a lot of room for improvement. Because look, 12,000 HP, 1,100 attack, 700 defense, 133 speed. Her crit rate's only 81. Crit damage is only 68%. Her accuracy is 137 accuracy. Because she does have some nice debuffs, you want to be able to land those debuffs. Every debuff you have in the game needs accuracy. If you want to do something to the enemy in some way, shape, or fashion, you need accuracy so that you can do it. I gave her accuracy as well. All right, we're going to go into a fairly low dungeon. We're not going to go very high. We're going to go into, what was it? Let's see. Stage 7. Not very high dungeon. This is not by any means my all-star team. My primary team is they're not my starters. Okay, so I wanted to just put a lower level team together so you could actually see what Fencer can actually do, see what her skills actually look like, and potentially what they can do to the enemy waves. Like Blue Affinity, she's a Force Affinity. Lower level team, yes, Apothecary is 6-star. The rest are 4-stars and only 1 5-star. So this is not an all-star team. This is not an MVP or first string team. Remember that. But they should be able to still progress through the content itself, and you can see what Fencer can do. Fencer is on the far right here. We're going to put this on auto. Fencer's on the far right. So when she attacks, she can do her AoE attack. Only 1 defense down landed, which is really, really poor RNG. Because that thing has a 75% chance to land. That should have landed on more than one enemy. Adriel, she's in the lead. She just did her AoE attack. She's got an attack down, 50% attack down on her AoE, which is pretty nice. But she's also an epic. So not a rare. Here we go. Runic Warrior. He's got to reflect damage. He's pretty nice against the boss when it comes time for it. And here we go. We're back to the boss already. That went a little faster than I expected. I wanted some more gameplay from Fencer. But we can show another one in just a minute. We'll go up one more round afterwards. 2-hit A1. They're doing that shield down. Chevalier. He's a beast. He can have like a 6 or an 8-hit A1 pretty easily. Runic Warrior. 2-hit A1. Here we go. Got the shield down. She missed her defense down again. She's been missing that for some reason on this run. I don't know why. She was hitting it pretty consistently when I was testing things out before I got in the video. So, alright. Reflect damage. 5 ticks already down. Her 2-hit A1. Take it down some more. Reflect damage again. Adriel has got her reflect damage as well. But she's also got a heal built into that as well. So, which is nice. Fencer just put that decreased speed defense. Decreased speed defense is pretty nice against the Fire Knight. It's not as nice as direct turn meter decrease. However, it does help slow the turn meter fill, which is pretty valuable against the Fire Knight. Alright, they're about to finish this one off. Here we go. And boom, Fencer, thankfully, gets to do the final finishing touch. We're going to step it up one round here against the Purple Affinity, against the Void Affinity here, and see if we can get a little more actual gameplay against the waves that you can see Fencer actually doing her skills. She's going to lead off with her AoE defense down, which she landed 3 defense downs, which is pretty nice. Adriel, her AoE. Thankfully, we don't have any really much turn meter decrease, which is nice. Otherwise, Paragon will get stuck in a cycle, and that is just annoying as heck when that happens. Because the automatic, like if you have Armorgers, their A1s keep decreasing his turn meter, and he can't cycle that unkillable off. Highly annoying. Happens on occasion on my actual primary team. Gets stuck with a Gnarl Horde, and his unkillable just never disappears because his my armor could just keep decreasing his turn meter. Alright, here we go. Of course, Fencer put a decreased speed debuff on him, so it's just going to slow him down a little bit longer. There we go. Now it comes off, and now he's done. Alright. So, let's focus on Fencer here. What is she on her skills? Here we go. AoE, decreased defense. Decreased defense on all 4 of them. That's pretty nice. Alright. Back to the boss. Back at it again. Reflect damage up. Continuous heal. Unfortunately, AI is not all that smart. What she just did, she just went to land her stun / steal turn meter skill. Can't do it against the boss when his shield is up. However, the A1 just did 2 hits, and now we got the shield down. Now, unfortunately, it's on cooldown, so she won't be able to do it. That's a problem with the AI at times. Remember that if you want to use some of your stuff, some of your skills, fully auto against some of these bosses, especially against this boss. Look at Chevalier again. Wow, I love that guy. There'll be a card up in the corner. You can go check out the guide I've done to him. Chevalier's got some massive little A1 skill. It's amazing. But remember, I was saying, some of the auto mechanics, don't think smart about what the bosses can do. So, for example, you can't put debuffs, you can't put turn meter decrease on the Fire Knight boss while his big shield is up. You will have champions that try to do their decreased turn meter skills on the boss with the shield up if it's on full auto, because they don't really pay attention to it. Remember that. But I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming through all the way with the video. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Join the journey, because together we'll be on a mission to create the most comprehensive library of champion guides of the epic and rare champions that the Raid Shadow Legends community has ever seen. I will see you on the next video. That's going to be right over there.